All right, so this is part three in the continent series for the Praxis Elementary Social Studies exam. We're going to get to know North America. Now, some of you might be wondering why I didn't start with North America. Traditionally, it's easier to do North America, but I have always found that mastering a small continent like South America gives you that boost. And then if you can get most of Africa, man, you can get North America. So let's hop into North America. And before we do, just look at the size of it. It's a huge area, so there's a lot of things that they can ask about. Let's talk about our oceans. We've got our Pacific Ocean and our Atlantic Ocean. Um, you have the Arctic Ocean. You have the Gulf of Mexico. Other key features, you have the Great Lakes, Hudson Bay, Greenland, which is technically part of Denmark. Um, but let's get into our countries. And I will say they ask about North America often. They often ask about the United States, and we will get into our states and presidents in some other sessions. I've seen Canada pop up. They like to ask about Central America, Mexico. So if there's any region you want to know really well, this is it. All right. Let's hop into identifying our countries. We know the USA, and we know Canada, and we know Mexico. All right. Pretty much all of you can identify those. Now, we've got a lot of countries over here in the Caribbean Sea. They have asked about them before, primarily which is the poorest country, which would be Haiti, which is right next to the Dominican Republic. Other countries that might come up, Cuba, which is the bigger country in the region. That's where Fidel Castro is, communism. And then the only other one you might see over here is the Bahamas, honestly, uh, which is right up here. But the rest of these you're not going to have to worry about. But let's go through them anyway. We've got Jamaica right there. And then we have Grenada, Bermuda. No. Is it Bermuda? No. Then we have a number of different islands. So we have like St. Kitts and Nevis, uh, St. Lucia, and we're not going to worry about the rest. If I remember them, we'll come back to them. This one starts with a B, but it'll come to me. All right. After Mexico, we have two small countries. The first and most important is Guatemala, where a lot of immigrants are coming from. What's interesting is we have more immigration per capita coming from Guatemala than we do Mexico. Interesting. And then we also have this small country, I've never seen it come up, but it's called Belize. I cannot spell it. Right here. After that, we have El Salvador. Doesn't really come up, but Honduras does. Honduras also sends a lot of immigrants to North America. Now, those countries might come up. These ones more likely will. We have Costa Rica, Nicaragua, and then Panama. So you would be surprised how often the Panama Canal comes up. So it might be showing a map image and which of these countries is home to the Panama Canal. So knowing the geography is important of North America. You will often see this referred to as the Canadian Shield. Um, and then we have different regions, right? We have the Great Plains, the West Coast, Baja California, you have the East Coast. Greenland again is not technically, it's part of North America, but it's part of Denmark. Um, we have the Mississippi River, which is the longest in the United States. That one often comes up. The Rio Grande, which helps separates Mexico and the United States. That one often comes up. We have the Mojave Desert out here in Arizona. Um, so there are a lot of different geographic terms. Interestingly enough, there are 16 different peninsulas in North America. So normally you just think of Baja California or Florida, but there are a lot of different peninsulas. Um, you have the Great Lakes. There are some specific lakes that come up. So if so, that's Lake Okeechobee in Florida, the Great Salt Lake in Utah. Um, Outside of those two, um, I would say that's primarily what you need to be concerned with regarding uh, North American geography as a whole. Now, that's different than understanding United States geography because they're going to throw a few more out there at you. You have the Rocky Mountains, the Appalachians, the Adirondacks, um, and some other Cascades and Sierra Nevadas mountains. So we'll get into that when we get into the geography of the United States. But this is essentially North America. And let's go ahead and see what other countries I missed over here. They don't ask you about them, so you don't need to worry about them. Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, that's the country I was thinking of. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago, Dominica. You're not going to have to worry about any of these on the test, okay? So, but if you can tell me these countries, I think you have a good chance of taking on the North American geography portion of this test if they throw any at you.